So we're working on some S10 control arms.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and everything is gonna be okay.
This is like a 95-ish. The bump stop sits here, you know, comes up like that originally. And this half-inch or so that we're gaining, maybe 3/4, is all he needs to lay out in the front on 15s. So got a new control arm. They're like 40 bucks or something crazy. I cut out the piece, made a template of course. Then I got our metal piece here, and if you see, I've done what I'd call a reverse bevel, and I don't know if I'm gonna get this to stick here. Anyways, this sits down a little more flush than that. But the reverse bevel, so I got it beveled this way on the control arm, I got it this way on our insert here, and so when I weld it, I can grind them flat and it still has the weld there. You know, we haven't ground the weld off. Also, this makes to where my weld doesn't have to stay, so I can clean it up and smooth it off, and that'll give us a little bit more, you know, more clearance on his frame runs right through here. So, you know, with this sitting in low like that, it can sit flush in there, be fully welded and ground, and, you know, we can make it all pretty with some black rattle can. We haven't lost any strength from grinding the weld. It's very important to know what you can do and what you can't with that. If I was to weld it, let's see, if I was to have the piece, you know, out on top here, let's say, and I was to weld that and then grind it, there's, you know, just that little bit is going to hang in there depending on how good the penetration was on the weld. And so this makes it to where I don't have to worry about it. I know I'm going to get good penetration, and it's going to sink in there nice because of our 2V bevels there, and just makes a nice little trough for your weld. Got this tacked in here, but I'm not liking that gap there, so we're going to pull it back out. I'm going to bend this up and then we'll reset it. Yeah, that's better. Nice little curve there. Alright, that sucker's as hot as a $2 pistol. And we'll let that cool for a while. I'll start making my other piece, and we'll grind it down as soon as it's cool. Put a couple extra stitches in there just because we could easily get to it, and just cheap insurance. And that's our guy. You know. Alright, let's get the other one up in here. Alright, we got our second one ready to go here. The other thing we have to do is cut down the steering stop a little bit. We'll leave it to where it still works, but it has to go below this piece here. So, alright, and there we are. Pretty happy with it. I think he will be too. We got our turn stops cut down a little bit. This little cover had a hole in it, so I just transferred this one as I was welding to make sure that that ball joint was covered. But, yep. Alright, we got our other side here. We're going to lay down our template. There we are. Alright. Got them done. All flattened out here. Much lower profile than the originals. think those will work.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job,